Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Value Cafe podcast. This is another installment of the Impact Corner. This is where I have conversations with impact makers and explore their journeys and what they are into, and hopefully it gets to inspire and challenge us as we learn from them. And today we have Motunrayo Fatoke on the show, aka Motun Bee, right? Or Motun Bee? How do you pronounce that?
Yes, it's Motun Bee.
Motun Bee, okay. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm very fine. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, and thank you for honoring our invitation. Motunrayo has over 3 years of transnational experience working as an education and development practitioner. She currently works as the senior programs assistant at the Education Partnership Center. She has had the privilege of working with other local and international organizations such as ENACTUS, UNICEF, UNESCO, Dalberg, Theirworld, World Economic Forum, Global Shapers, Barack Obama Young Leaders Initiative, amongst others. Wow. She's also a technical and creative writer and has gotten some of her works published in Punch, Nigeria's foremost newspaper, and global platforms such as Education Commission and Theirworld blog. She's very much interested in education, career development, organizational culture, technology, and finance for social good. Wow, this is a lot. Motunrayo, how do you do all of these things at the same time?
I feel like it's one step at a time. So it's not as if I got into all of them at once. So it's one stage and another stage. So basically putting one foot forward every now and then.
I like to believe that there's a central motive behind all of those, putting your foot forward.
For me, I feel like the whole journey started while I was in school, and I didn't just want to be a random student that just went to school, have good grades, and then just graduate, and then that's it. I wanted more. I didn't want to just go through the university, but I also wanted the university to go through me. And I remember that while I was in 200, my first semester, I started hunting for organizations where I could immerse myself. And I remember that I saw ENACTUS and I just joined. I just wanted to be part of something great. And so when I joined initially, it just really and so I used to say something, and an opportunity is what you make of it. So I had colleagues that were also in ENACTUS, but they cannot say what I have to say about the experience I had gained in ENACTUS, and that was because they didn't put themselves to the process. I was deliberate and very intentional about what I wanted from ENACTUS, and I achieved it. So yes, so that's how I've gone about my life. Even the mundane things, the minute things, I'll just immerse myself to it, and make it what I want it to be for me.
That's beautiful. I think it's also part of our own growth process, right? Because there are times when we join things because it's the in thing. I remember that time for in 100 level was ISEC and NIGMOS, Nigeria Model United Nations, and people were just joining and doing this and doing. But what you said about it's not just about being in those organizations. It's really what you get out of it. It's what you learn, the things you pick up. It's not just about writing it on paper that, I was part of this organization. So what can we see in your life that happened because you were part of this organization? Be it personal growth, be it skills and knowledge that you learned, and all of those things. So that is lesson number 1. We've not even gone far, and she has already dropped some nuggets. Whatever you do, make sure that you are putting your all into it, and that you are actually being deliberate about what you are getting out of it. You get why, okay? What are some of the challenges that you've encountered along your path? You are obviously a young person. You've gone through school. You've started doing some of these things, and surely it can't be a smooth journey all through. So what are some challenges that you've run into and that you are still facing right now?
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, so challenges are very inevitable. Would always encounter obstacles wherever, at whatever level, whatever stage we are. And for me, major challenge would be funding. But funding is quite grander, so I'll just leave funding. Funding is like projects, when I'm executing projects, and then I just need funds to run them. But that's even like by the side. The major challenge is actually personal. Like imagine you've been working and then you now apply for stuff that you think that automatically with all that you've put into it, you just expect that you get in for it, and then you don't get in for it. It has a way of dampening your spirits, right? And so for me, I have been able to overcome. I used to say that I have a very can-do spirit, a never we die there spirit. So I've had, like, for instance, when I applied for yearly, got in for yearly at the third attempt. I applied the very first time, I didn't get in. I applied the very second time, I didn't get in. Then I applied the third time, and then I got in. And usually when people like apply once and they don't get in, they just get discouraged and they just feel like, oh, that opportunity is not for me, or like it's not for me, or I don't have the capacity for it. But I feel like, okay, initially when I applied for it, I went back to the drawing board and then look at what I did right and what I didn't do right. And then for those that got in, I had to like consult them, speak with them. Okay, so this is what I did. What did you do right that I did not do? And so I was able to like work on those loopholes and then go back to the application stronger, and then I got in for it. So over time, like, challenges for me will be there's also imposter syndrome, where you feel like you don't deserve what you're getting, right? You feel like this the reward, you feel like some certain things are for some people that have certain experiences, and you just feel like, oh, I've not spent so much time in this space, and I'm already getting this exposure. I'm already getting this opportunity. So it can also set in that way, because you just feel like, oh, I'm not deserving of this opportunity or this recognition I'm getting. But I feel like everybody at a point in time, I've also had to experience imposter syndrome. But I feel like we'll just move past it and just believe that, okay, this opportunity I am deserving of it, regardless of what anyone thinks. And then there's also the challenge of you being like very young in the space, and people want to bully you and like, oh, you don't have that experience yet. We've done this, we have this track record. You've just spent probably 3 years, you spent 2 years in this space, and so there's that part of it too, where you don't get to access some opportunities because people feel like, oh, you're still very young in this space.
I get that. I mean, the focus is like having the heart for impact. It's not young or not young. I mean, I feel like everybody, when we come together, regardless of that, the age and all of those things, and we have the heart for doing the work, we can actually do so much amazing stuff together, and that's just the thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and well done on everything you do, even if it has taken a number of sacrifices. I mean, I saw your status this evening, and then when you were sharing that you were a part-time student when you were starting all those activities. So how was it like, say, convincing your people? Did you have any issues with maybe your parents or guardians, as the case may be, when you were getting involved?
Oh, yes, I did. Because I remember that when I posted that picture, my roommates then in 200 level was like, Motun, I remember the struggle you had to go through to attend that event. Because I literally had to block them from viewing my story. And I remember that I had to like put my phone on airplane mode so that nobody could get through me, just so that I don't tell them that I went to Lagos. And so it has always been like that. But then I was just this, I don't want to use the word stubborn, but I'm very strong-willed, and when I say I want something, I always like go for it, regardless of what anybody wants or thinks or anybody's approval, right? I remember when I was in ENACTUS, and I had to because I was leading a project, and one of the way ENACTUS run is, when you like carry out a project, you have to like go compete with other students from other schools. So we call it national competition. So I went for the competition, and I was deliberate and very intentional not to let my parents know, because I knew I even had tests in school. I remember missing a couple of tests just so I could attend that national competition, because I had given a lot to it, and it was just not just going to be nice for me to miss out on attending the event. So apparently my picture went viral, and then my auntie saw it, and she was always like, are you not supposed to be in school? What's Motun doing in Lagos? And that's how they called family meeting on me, and they didn't send me to school to go and be doing extracurricular. They said they're paying my school fee just so I could have good grades and all. But I think over time they got used to it and saw that, okay, this girl actually knows what she's doing. She's focused and she's bankable. We can trust her, like she knows what she's doing. I remember so last year I got nominated for an award, and I showed my daddy, and he was like, oh wow, I'm so proud of you. And then I was not telling him that, oh, you're proud of me, you that you didn't allow me to immerse myself in extracurricular activities. Now you're now like taking the glory and saying, oh, you really invested in me and all of that.
We know that they actually they had the best intentions and all of those things, so we can forgive them for that. So you actually have like a key particular interest in education. So why is that so deep for you?
Okay, my love for education wasn't like inborn, or like I grew up, or because of I was affected by certain experience that made me fall in love with education. No, it was actually ENACTUS that made me fall in love with education more. When, like I said, an opportunity is what you make of it. So I remember then it wasn't even convenient. It wasn't convenient for me showing up for meetings. And when they asked who's going to go to the field, everybody will run that they have classes to attend to. And I just told myself that I was going to be committed to the journey. I've joined this team, and I would make myself prominent in this team and very useful in this team. So I started from being the financial secretary. Then over time, they made me the project head for Learn Again. And I remember it was my final year, and I'd already vowed and promised my parents that I was not going to involve myself in extracurricular. I was just going to focus on my final year. It was just going to be purely books and try to make good grades. My team leader reached out to me, and then he asked that I should please lead that project. And so over time, leading that project just really exposed me to the reality of education in Nigeria, that it's really a big problem. So I worked in some areas in Ibadan, and it's just really poor, because despite the fact that they made education free for children, we still had children that still couldn't afford the basic levy, like school uniforms, exam fee, all of that. And when I asked, okay, so we carried out a needs assessment, went to roundabouts in Mokola, and went on a school day so that we could actually really map out those out of school children. So when we met with them, and some of them were hawking water and all, and then we reached out to them. We asked, why are you not going to school? Like, today is Tuesday and it's in the morning, why are you not in school? And some of them couldn't even talk. They just broke down crying that they've actually been in school, but they had to drop out because their parents couldn't afford to continue sponsoring their education because they can't afford exam fee or uniform. And then I asked how much does these things cost, and the highest there was probably 4,000 naira, and that's, for me, that's very minute. And matching that amount, keeping someone from the school environment, so it was just really sad for me. And I remember we bought all the goods from those children, and then we followed them home. We spoke to their parents, and some of them were even, it wasn't because they didn't even have money. So for some, like the houses that we met, it was cultural. Like, it was a mindset thing. They just did not believe in their children going to school. Like, there's this Ilekeu. I don't know if you know Ilekeu, but it's this Arabic school that Muslims go to. Yes, so for them that was good enough. If their children were already enrolled in that, then there was no need for them to get enrolled in proper formal education. So we had to conduct a sensitization program for them to make them see the importance of education. And then I saw the outcome of that project. It was really mind-blowing, because from some children we picked from the street, they had not been in school for 5 years. The project was really personal to me. I knew the beneficiaries by name. I knew them. I had people calling me in the night as late as 11 p.m. Oh, I am at Motun. Your child has not done an assignment. Oh, at Motun. So they asked us to buy books. So it was just really very interesting and heartwarming for me to see that, oh, my impact is felt and it's actually it's something that they can make reference to at any point in their life, and I feel like they will be able to pay it forward going on. So I had someone like Samad. Samad had been out of school for like 3 years, and immediately we put him in school. He was specific. He said he wanted to be in just to go to an army school. So I remember we were hunting for schools, because the schools we found for him, he said he didn't want. He wanted to stay in an army school, and we did an evaluation, carried out an evaluation and assessment session, and it was just doing brilliantly. His report card, he came third in the class out of I think 123 people. He came third in the class, and he was the class captain. So imagine if there was nothing like our initiatives to actually like attend to them, to solve those problems. Someone like Samad would be on the street, and he will probably like mix up with gangsters and probably be a victim of one of those kids that end up carrying drugs and become a menace to the society. You get? So it just sparked my interest, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to actually work in this space. I feel like education is not just about literacy and numeracy. I feel like it actually transforms the mindset of the individuals, right? So it's just very, very, and the education system in Nigeria is actually very appalling. It is not good enough, because I remember that my lecturer in 200 level was actually teaching me with the note he used while I was an undergraduate. I mean, I was in 200, that's like years down. What the reality of his time is quite different from mine. Like, we've advanced and he's still using that old curriculum to teach us. So how would I learn? How will I be innovative? So those are the issues that I'm really passionate about, and I feel like I can transform with over time while building capacity and skills in the sector.
Wow, that's like a lot. Like I listen to you talk about all of these things, and I can feel the passion, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more systemic change. Like when we get to a point where special projects like this will be more about innovating what we already have, the good system we already have, and not just trying to like overhaul the system from scratch. And I really hope that everybody involved, individuals, organizations, governments, everybody that needs to put their hands together to get this to work for us. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
So what are you working on right now?
I was thinking that as I progress, it will get easier, but truly I will say it has gotten easier, but like there's just more workload, like there's just more to do. So I currently work with TEP Center, and TEP Center is a public-private organization. So basically work with private organizations, influencing their decisions to invest in education in Nigeria. So a typical day for me is probably developing proposals, concept notes to send to private sectors, pitching, rendering consultancy services to these private sectors, helping them design programs, evaluating the programs they've probably like executed in the past, and carrying out research as well to like just carrying out research to see what people are doing around the world and how we can like adopt it in designing programs here in Nigeria. So that's what a typical day like for me looks like, and I'm not one to be caught doing one thing. So like I also immerse myself with other things, like aside taking courses, I also work with Career Body as a contributing writer. So I just basically write about the reality of organizations and the companies in Nigeria. I run a business, a fashion and lifestyle brand, so it's Unifari. So I also have like a journal that I released last year in May. So I call it the Blueprint Planner, because it helps overachievers to like just get their day in order. Because I know it was born out of the problem I encountered as a multi-versatile person, because you can just wake up in the morning and have a lot of things to do and still yet end your day not doing anything at all, because you're just overwhelmed, you don't know where to start from. So I just really like designed the journal to like help busy people to navigate their daily activities. So it has like meetings, typical meeting days, because I remember that we're supposed to have a meeting and I missed it, and that was because I got swamped with work. So it shouldn't be that way. So I just like try to like schedule whatever I have in the day. If I have meetings, if I have to attend to anything, and I feel like it will be useful for anybody that pick the journal. So I read a whole lot, not just like books. Like I do a lot of research. I want to know what's going on around the world. I want to know what people are doing in my space. How can I get better with what I am doing? What you get? So I just like make comparison. Oh, this is working for these people. Can it work for us? Can we adopt it? And I also want to know why are they using it? What outcome are they like? What outcome does it like bring? And how does it affect what I will be doing?
That's such a full one for anyone who is listening that wants to, like, engage with you across the things that you do, maybe your fashion and lifestyle brand, your journal brand, and all of those things. Where can they reach you? What platforms can they reach you on?
Okay, so I have a business page, Onifari, on Instagram. So it's Onifari_NG. And also you can actually even get any of my planners when you walk into any. So for now, we currently like have a partnership with Roving Eyes here in Abuja, but I'm trying to extend it to Lagos and Ibadan. So from May, you should be able to walk into any store, any Roving Eyes store in Lagos or in Ibadan, in Abuja, and you get any of our planners.
So we have been listening to Motunrayo Fatoke. Check out on LinkedIn, and should you find any of those platforms where you want to probably volunteer, donate, partner, and all of those things, please do that. You can also do your bit. You do not necessarily have to start your own or something like that before you can also engage to make impact. So before I let you go, there's a question I love to ask my guests, and I'm going to throw it at you.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's not scary. So, we've listened to you talk about so many things you do. I've read your citation, done this, done that, and all of those things. But if there is only one thing we could take away from you today, like if you could forget about everything that you do, or all those things that you are involved with, which are very great, by the way, and you were to describe Motunrayo by yourself, maybe in 1 or 2 sentences, what is that thing that you would want people to take away about?
I think Motunrayo is someone who doesn't easily like back off on anything she put her eyes to. So I always go for what I want. You can't tell me no. I would always go for what I want and see it to the end. And also someone who, whatever I immerse myself to, or whatever I attach myself to, I always like make the best out of it. I literally suck out the juice out of it. So that's Oliver Twist. I always want more. I always want to like look for better ways to like improve my skills, my capacity. Is really, really like important to me. So Motunrayo is that person that just always goes all out, 100.
Okay, so Motunrayo has coconut head, but in a good way. We'll definitely remember that, for inspiring us and challenging us to do better. I've also learned a lot from listening to you, and I look forward to many other wonderful things that will definitely come from you. And all the best in your journey, all the best with your endeavors, and just more impact. Okay, thank you for coming,
and well done for the amazing job you do with the Valley Cave podcast.
Thank you so much. We are just small. We're trying to do our own bit in our own little corner, but all right. There you have it, everybody. I've had Motunrayo Fatoke on the show this week, and I'm sure that you've enjoyed 1 or 2 or 3 values from this. Do well to listen, do well to engage. Let me know what your thoughts are. Of course, you can send a DM or drop a comment at the Value Cafe across Twitter and Instagram. You can also send a mail to thevaluecafepod@gmail.com. And yes, you can of course suggest my next topic or next guest. It could also be yourself, and just follow the link in bio on those platforms, and you can get here to see that. Again, let me know what you think, and please share with your friends, share with your family members, give your recommendation, support this business, and support this podcast.
Absolutely.
And yes, so and thank you so much for coming again. I look forward to seeing you
so much
next episode. Bye, everybody.
Bye.